I don't feel alone. You just settled in and it already feels like home.
You're listening to the Feels Like Home podcast with Mike Throne and Marty Ford. Powered by Horizon. This is big. This is gig. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Feels Like Home podcast. This week, Mike and I sat down with Todd Tinker, Carolyn Adelsberger, and Quincy Newsom, all from the Chillicothe Civic Theater and the new production this summer's big hit, Mary Poppins. So we sat down, we caught up with them, found out how rehearsals are going, dug into their history with the theater and their influences. And this is Todd's first musical that he's directing. So we had a lot of new things to talk about. So we hope you enjoy this episode. We hope that you will check out Mary Poppins at Chillicothe High School, July 21st through the 24th. So go to the website, cctoh.org, for more information and to buy tickets. Again, Chillicothe Civic Theater's cast and director of Mary Poppins.
All right, so we're back.
We are back.
We took a little break.
Yeah, we've had a couple weeks off. It's been kind of busy.
I almost got out of the habit of being here.
Well, you were running a couple minutes late tonight, and I didn't realize you were at the Paints game, and I was like, did Mike forget?
I never forgot. I never forget.
Well, I hate that you had to.
That is not true. That always happens, but I appreciate the fact that you held out for me and you even checked in on me. I appreciate that.
I was worried about you.
So, well, we are here tonight with. So we've had on the Chillicothe Civic Theater before, and Todd Tinker, who is here tonight, has been with us before. That's right. But we have new folks with us.
Yeah, so he's a second time.
That's right.
Feels Like Home podcast. We've been kind of keeping track of how many times people have been on the show.
And you're not our first repeat guest.
Yeah, so
we've actually had somebody on 3 times, right? Colin Rose.
Colin Rose has been on 3 times.
That's just bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't even know why we're keeping track at this point, but nevertheless. Anyhow.
Something to shoot for.
That's right. You keep doing, you keep directing and doing everything, and we'll have you keep coming back. How about that?
That's right.
But we do have 2 of the cast and Todd with us tonight for Mary Poppins, the musical, which is coming up
21st.
Thank you. Yeah. I almost said the 20th. That's why I paused for so
July 21st
long.
to the 24th.
All right. So I'll let them introduce themselves. Although
and what part are they?
What part? Yes, that would be the best way to do it. Carolyn, you can go first.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go first.
Oh, hello. My name is Carolyn Adelsberger, and I'm playing the part of Mary Poppins.
Yay.
Mary Poppins.
I'm Quincy Newsom, and I'm Bert.
Very good. So, Todd, have you directed musicals before?
No, this is my first musical.
Your first musical. Mm-hmm. So obviously there's a big change in something like that. So tell us how you've approached this differently than you have the other.
Well, we started earlier than normal, than usual. We cast, and we started rehearsing. Gosh, it was probably early March, and we normally would in a regular straight play, we would do maybe 8 weeks, 9 weeks tops. But we've been at it, now 14 weeks. And part of that was just planned because we know that summer gets here and people go on vacations and we have a lot of things going on. A lot of people, a lot of the young cast members are involved in sports and other things at school, at the end of the year. So we knew we would need the extra time. And Mary Poppins is a big show.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. And so we've needed that extra time.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm fortunate enough to have seen enough CCT productions to know the talents of these 2 young folks here. And so, and actually, so in full disclosure, so Carolyn was my daughter's drama teacher in high school. And so, this is going to sound strange, but like, she started out, I I guess I knew you first that way. So, and then all of a sudden you were on stage one time, and then, so for you, I mean, you've obviously been in a lot of CCT productions, but is this like Mary Poppins is a big role?
Yes.
And so is this like a dream come true for you to be able to play that role?
I think so. I don't like to put like big like dream role labels on things because sometimes then you don't get them and then you're really sad.
Right.
But it was a challenge. It was something new, and it's I haven't really been in this spot for a long time, so I was excited to be able to have the time to do this. That's another thing that I just have so many things going on that I don't always have time to really commit. So I was like, I really want to do this. This sounds really fun. I know the people that are coming out for it. I was excited to work with Todd again because we worked on Blood Spirit in the previous spring. God, that was so long ago. It feels like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like I didn't realize it was a dream role until I got there, and then I was like, "This is everything I've ever wanted. Like this is perfect." So,
Yeah.
practically perfect, if you will.
Yeah.
But
Well, and I think sometimes that's what makes local theater really exciting because the folks that are doing it, they put passion into every role they get. You've been on the main cast, but a little bit in the background for some of the shows. And so having a starring role is very, very important. It's a lot of fun. It challenges you. And so, I think that's one of those great moments. I think as somebody that's an observer of local theater, I look back and I go, yeah, I know her. Look at that. That's great. And I think it makes it fun for folks that come and see it.
yeah, I really enjoy playing any role on stage because I don't think any role is unimportant. Like if you're tree number 3 in a show, like you're still a part of the show. You're not just watching it from the sidelines. Your role is just as important. It's not like a bench necessarily because there's no bench. Everyone's in a starting role, or starting position, if you will, if you want to use a sports analogy. So, just what their job is at that point in time is a little bit different.
Yeah.
And so I have a blast regardless.
I've
love performing.
I've been the tree number 3 several times in my life. So I appreciate the fact that you thought I was important. I really do.
Everyone's important.
Well, and I guess another thing to add to what she said is I've been in shows with Carolyn, and like her experience, that what she brings to the table or to the stage, and no matter what part she's playing. In Beauty and the Beast, she was a silly girl with me as Gaston, and like totally bailed me out so many times. Like just helping, just like pointers and things that I didn't know yet, like from a singing standpoint, or even from acting and just helping other people around her. So like it is so important. All of the roles are important, and like I'm glad you said that. But like I really noticed it, I think maybe in Beauty and the Beast more than I did White Christmas, because like I just felt like there were so many people on stage that needed that help and that support, and to have people who have a lot of experience right there beside you just makes that so much easier.
Carolyn Adelsberger, theater sage.
Mentor.
Now that's going to be you like that title?
Makes me sound really cool.
We're going to call her that from now on.
That's better than hot Cheeto. Okay.
Hot Cheeto. Do we dare explore that?
Do we have time for that?
Yeah, I don't know.
We can bring
It's
that back
really,
at the end.
as I say, it's really easy, but we can save it for later.
Okay. All right. Let's bring it back. Put a pin in that, Marty. All right. Can you
that
mark
down.
that somehow? Quincy, I feel like, so again, you're another person that I've seen in different roles on the stage, but I think your energy is what I really appreciate about you.
Well, thank you.
How do you bring that to this actual production?
I just channel my inner kid. Like I just go out there and I just have fun and I just forget I'm a grown up. And I look at my kids at home and I think of them as I'm one of them. So
yeah,
that's who Bert is. He's a grown up kid who realizes that dreams are they're still there.
Yeah.
They never stop. So
when for both of you, I guess, and even for you, Todd, like when you see the productions that have been done in the past, whether they be, the old Mary Poppins movie or the newer ones, do you look at those portrayals and go, I'm going to borrow some of that from those folks? Or is this like, I'm setting out on my own and trying to make it me?
Well, me personally, I definitely borrow, steal, whatever I need to. But I always find a way to make sure that mine, in my opinion, is better. So
right.
I just take what works and then I find out how to make it more Quincy than, anyone else who did the Broadways or the movies or
sure.
anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. From a viewer's perspective, I don't want to see you do Lin-Manuel Miranda
right.
or whatever, right?
right.
Like that he did it and it's done.
Right.
So be you, like that's cool. I like that. What about you, Carolyn? You feel that way?
I love Julie Andrews.
Okay.
But I don't idolize her. So I knew going into this role, I was like, okay, so people are going to compare me to that version, if that makes sense. I'll be totally honest, I've not seen the new Mary Poppins, so I have no idea how is it Emma? No. Is it Emma Stone?
No.
No.
It's Emma Thompson, right?
No. No.
No?
Somebody look it up quick.
I literally can see her face.
All right, I'll look it up while you keep talking.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I think it's the same. I want to bring my own flair to it. I think there's a lot to be said also for chemistry of actors on stage.
Emily Blunt.
Emily
yeah.
Blunt.
I should have thought of John Krasinski and I would have got it. Right.
Continue.
It's okay. But like, no one would play these roles the way that Quincy and I play them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's the fun part of theater is like, you are portraying that other character in a way that works with the chemistry of the people. In this universe right now, this is the group that we have, and this is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And so, like I know what the Julie Andrews version is like, but I don't think I play it in any way, shape, or form like she does.
Yeah.
I hope that if in one universe she were to see it, she would be proud, but like, I'm not necessarily I'm not trying to recreate because that also takes the fun out of it for us. Mm-hmm. There's the creative side of that, of acting and performing, then is taken away from you.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I love about performing and being on stage is having that creative outlet to be able to just pretend to be somebody else and bring the story and the themes and the lessons to our audience.
Yeah.
So,
well, and that's one of the things I respected about you as a drama teacher and producer, I guess, of high school drama, is that you let the kids be the kids and draw on their talents, but it's still a creative outlet, and you got to let the obviously the subject matter or whatever's there you have to do.
yeah.
But I always felt like every kid, whether it was Matthew Skeens or my daughter or whoever, they were out there and just having fun, and I think that's a good part of that. So Todd, for you, as you direct something like this, how much of it do you pull from, again, you said this is your first musical, so it's obviously a little different for you, but at the same time, you've done the directing part of it before. And so how much are you pulling from that and saying, all right, we'll apply it to this new medium, still drama in a sense, but it's musical, obviously,
I don't think there's a whole lot of that. I think that especially with the stage musical, which has some of the same elements as the motion picture, but the story is a little bit different, and it has different lessons to it. And there's, I think, a creative way to tell that story in a very unique way with the people that you have on stage. And there's a different feeling to it for the audience. And so you have to you go through the story and you work with those pieces and try and pull those things out of your performers and get that feeling to conveyed to the audience. And it's there's a lot of ups and downs. It's part of the song, right? Ups and downs in the show, but man, that ending is a killer. So
yeah,
and we want to make sure the audience understands the story that the musical is trying to convey, because it has a very beautiful story to it, a beautiful lesson.
Yeah.
And it's very applicable. I mean, the show is set in 1910, but it's still applicable today.
Sure, yeah.
Just the message that comes through.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things that I feel about Mary Poppins today is that no matter what era you're seeing that in, there's probably lessons that could be learned all through time, right? But it feels like today, in this moment, there's a lot to be gleaned from this and to at least pay attention to. Is that in the back of your head? That's sort of in the back of your head as you're directing, right?
Yeah, as you're rolling through it, that's pretty much in the back of your mind. You know, you're thinking of that.
You're not trying to be preachy or anything, but at the same time, let's let the message convey itself, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it can be a very personal message too.
Sure.
Not just as a whole, but a very personal message, because well, come and see the show. You'll know what I mean when it's all done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because, there have been productions that I've gone to here, whether they've been high school productions or CCT or whatever, and been to them with my kids. I have, 2 daughters there in their 20s and then younger kids. So in that gamut, whoever comes with us, we always say, so what did you get out of that? And it's always interesting to hear the mind of a child look at something and pull something from it that you would never think of. And maybe I would have thought it when I was their age, but now at, 35 plus, it's a little different,
Well, I think sometimes you just don't, through the stage, you can get a message through in a different way to people, because just going back as an example, is that when we were working for the first time on a certain particular piece, I won't say what it was and everything, and Carolyn and Quincy were on stage at that time, and we got to that point. We had not worked on this piece at all, but we had blocked it a certain way. We had, staged it a certain way, and Carolyn has one line, and I don't think she was prepared for how it would affect her, and it was a sweet moment because she said the line and she just about broke down crying, because it was just that moment. And for a performer to have that reaction, you can turn that around, and once we get an audience in there, what their reaction is going to be to that moment, it's a very strong, it's a very beautiful moment. And that's the kind of thing that stage actually does. That, you can go to see the movie and get a reaction and everything, but the stage is so much different, because the actors are right there, the emotion is right there, how they play that moment, the music, the lighting, everything about that on stage brings that out of an audience.
Yeah.
So
let me turn that question a little bit toward you guys, because what he said there I think is really, really important. Are there aspects of every show that you do where you have a line that you particularly lock in with and you're like, this means something to me? I mean, obviously, Carolyn, for you in this production, there's one, but have you had that with others that you've done?
I mean, I definitely have. I mean, even when you're just a small character, and sometimes it's not a line, but it's the last song.
Right.
And sometimes, like, just when you say goodbye, or like when you've really gone through something in your personal life, and you're acting on stage, you realize you're not really acting. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into it too much because you come see the show and you'll see the moment that we're all talking about.
Right.
But it definitely, some moments hit home, and you do have emotions, and you do cry, or you do something, and it's not you acting anymore. And I think the audience will be able to see that. Yeah.
Well, and as actors, you're taught like the show must go on, right? So like whatever you got going on, you kind of have to leave backstage and go out and do your thing, right?
Yeah.
And so that moment can be dragging whatever is off stage out with you for a little bit.
Right.
But then, of course, you have to like let it go again and keep going. You know, I think it's really interesting because to me, we have a whole society that I think has pushed down their emotions and their issues for a while. And we're starting to see them come to a head now. And so I think it's really good when we see folks be human on stage or in a movie or even in music. You know, it's really cool when I see somebody say, this means something to me and I'm bringing it to you, you know?
So there's a lot of musicals and a lot of things that we bring to the stage. I say we because feel like I'm still part of the Civic Theater, right? Since I'm on board.
We're trying to get you back.
Some of the scripts have not aged well, but I feel like Mary Poppins has aged well. Like it fits, like what Mike was saying earlier. It fits in all these different time frames, and with what we're dealing with in society today, like there's room for that in Mary Poppins. But I know that, you know, other musicals and other shows that we've done, we've had to have conversations about how do we deal with this because this doesn't work anymore. Yeah. I mean, have you had to do any of that with Mary Poppins? I mean, I'm pretty familiar with the script, and I'm like, nothing's coming to me that you would have to really massage. But
no,
I think that's what's special about this show, right?
Right. I mean. Well, like I say, you know, the motion picture is a little bit different than the stage musical. But you know, Mary Poppins comes in as a nanny, and that implies that she's there to help the children and all. But you learn that she's not there just for the children. She's there for everyone to learn and to grow and to work through things that are going on. So it's not just a particular group of people in the show, it's everybody. And Mary Poppins, you know, she can be a person, but, you know, she encompasses all of those things to everybody. And that's what makes it, I think, everlasting for everyone. Yeah. Because it works with everybody that's involved in the show, and people can relate to that, I think.
Sure.
This is big. Verizon Fiber Internet is ready
Let them get you hooked up and power your Wi-Fi network
with the speed and reliability that only a 100% fiber network can do.
Verizon is ready to help you do what you do better. With real people, real rates, and a real service.
Connect with them today, and the first month is free, plus no contracts and no data caps. Call 740-772-8331
or visit horizonconnects.com/Chillicothe
to sign up today.
Now, every role that you've ever played, like, adds to your next role, right? What are some roles that you've played in the past that have helped you? Does any stand out that helped you prepare for Mary Poppins and for Bert?
I mean, for me, back in high school, I was the Scarecrow, and he was just kind of a little more free, you know? So he's probably the only one from past roles I've been, because Bert he's just different than I thought he was gonna be. I'll say that much. But Scarecrow, I just pulled from him because he was just free, kind of floppy, just ditzy,
and you had
but
fun
smart.
with that role. I remember seeing that show,
too.
And yeah, you did. You were fantastic in that, and so I could see where you would pull from that character. That would make sense. How about you?
Every time I move the mic stand, I'm afraid it's going to like
make a lot of noise. Yeah, I get
don't
it.
stress about that.
I have never played a role like this before. So, this one feels a lot more personal just because of its like leadership-esque as a teacher, and as a leader in the area. I feel like I can draw from all of those personal things to help relay the message. I mean, kind of Mary Poppins' whole idea is helping others and helping them find their way, right, and making them believe that whatever they are trying to do or whatever they believe can happen as long as they let it. Not like trying to be hokey or anything, but Bert's character helps bring the spark and the light and kind of follow through with those things. But I also really believe that, like, as a human being. And so I think I guess my role as a mentor and as a teacher has been the most providing in terms of what it is that I'm trying to portray. I mean, I played Sharpay Evans in high school. Like, aside from the sass, I don't really know how much that's translating here. But yeah, just the culmination of all the things that I've done. And then where I come to the role from a personal standpoint, I think has really been what's pushed me through to portray that character fully.
I've heard there's choreography. Since you hadn't done a musical, was that challenging for you, Todd?
Oh, I have people to help with the
Very good.
choreography.
I like to hear that. Know your strong suits, right? Yeah.
Right. Well, what we did was a lot of our performers do some of the dancing, and Quincy is our choreographer also, and he's worked with them to do their choreography. And then we also held auditions for tap dancers, trained tap dancers here locally, which, knowing what the show would entail with some of that dancing, we normally would try to bring in some of our own performers to do some of the tapping and all, but I wanted to bring in some trained tap dancers and do things a little bit differently. So we held auditions for them, and we brought in quite a few of those dancers, and they've had their own auditions for a long while now, until this week when we brought everybody together and we started working together. So we have a large cast as a result of that, and it's worked out, I think, pretty well, aside from a few things, just getting used to each other.
Sure.
And me not knowing, all the terminology of dancing and all. So I'm trying to learn also what that entails.
Yeah.
So it's been a learning experience for me too.
Is that the biggest cast that you've worked with?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think we're 36 total.
Wow.
So with the dancers.
Good thing you're on the big stage at CHS, right? Might not be as big if you were at the small.
It doesn't seem like it, but I think we counted at least at one point it's 36.
Is that right?
We may have left a few stragglers behind. I don't know, but yeah.
Around 40, maybe we'll say it that way.
Somewhere in there. Yeah. But I think as a result of that and trying to bring those people, I think it's been a good experience in the standpoint that a lot of the dance schools around town, around the area, had seen our audition calls for that and helped us bring some of those people in. So our relationship with some of those dance studios, I think, has been kind of nice to start building on, and maybe some of those people will come back and do shows with us again in the future.
Yeah.
We actually did a lot of our rehearsals for the dancers out at, which one was it? It was out on 772.
Oh, Transitions, I think, is out there.
Yeah. So
yeah.
And we appreciated being able to use that studio.
Yeah. Well, you can never have enough partnerships
Right.
in any local organization.
Yep.
I would say that that's borne out in my own experience. I'm sure Marty feels the same way, but
Exactly.
I think the more partnerships we build for the Civic Theater, I think the better off we're going to be, because there's a million talented people out there. Let's not say a million. There's not a million in Ross County, but there's thousands of really talented people out there that have never either given it a shot or had the courage to do it. And sometimes really all you need is once, like this guy over here, he gets one shot. Next thing you know, he's coming back. So, it makes sense. When we had the folks on from CCT before, I think we asked them who their influences were when they were growing up and looking, doing theater for themselves, or maybe roles or plays or things like that they really enjoyed, that really said, man, I want to do something like that. It may not lead to being in Hollywood or Broadway, but it's going to be what I want to do at the time. So do you guys have idols that you look at and people that you look at and you say, I really was influenced by this?
I didn't really. I knew I loved it, but I mean, not to get too personal about it, I didn't really see much roles or things that looked like me or personally acted like me. So my goal was always to be the first and like do that thing. And, so I'd see characters that I liked, but they still never felt like they were close to the ballpark I was in. Like even Burr, I was a little nervous about, because I knew I was a good dancer and I knew I can sing and I knew I could technically kind of fit some of the roles, but I'm like, I don't know, that's kind of a stretch,
Yeah.
So it's just, for me, it's always just been a drive to like be the first and break this wall and do this, because I've not really seen much that really fit my demographic.
That's cool. I like that. What about you, Carolyn?
I didn't have a ton of exposure as a young person. I was a dancer up until like 10-ish years old, and got involved in the music program and stuff at my school. And we only did 2 musical productions in my 4 years of high school. And I was involved in both of those, and they were a blast. One of my favorite things as a kid was seeing, they used to do, because of where I went to school, all of our buildings were separate. So they would bus the kids in to see like a preview of the upcoming musical that year. And I remember seeing Footloose, and seeing all of these like older high schoolers that I know and I was looking up to as like a young up and coming like musician, I guess. And I was like, that looks so cool. And I remember that moment. I mean, I remember it so well, is that when I went to produce Footloose, which was my first musical at Southeastern, I remember exactly the like set design that they did and a lot of the ideas, because I was just so fascinated by it. So there is huge power in the community and the school aspect of those things, because the kids don't get, like, my parents weren't taking me to see Broadway shows in Columbus. We couldn't afford things like that. And so there's a lot of power there, being able to provide our young people and our community members, not just young, but our old people as well, like opportunities to see and to be a part of and to be welcoming them in those ways. So like, yeah, as I got older, I was like, oh yeah, like I love Sutton Foster and like, oh, this person's cool. But like, that's not where it started, if that makes sense. Like I never had like that album that I would listen to or anything like that. It was the kids and the adults close to home that I was seeing every day that were inspiring me to try that next thing. Or my friends in college that were like, hey, let's take summer classes over the summer and work with the community theater here. And that's when I got involved in Bye Bye Birdie and had a blast. I was like one of the extra girls that sang that awful Conrad Birdie song. But yeah, it's those people that are important. So yeah, you can watch all these big roles and all these big people and you can go, but it's a lot closer to home.
Yeah.
Is where that influence should be.
Well, I think you both hit on something. Maybe you did it a little earlier, Quincy, but like, I think the importance of local high school theater in some way, shape, or form is, even if you never do it again. So I'm a guy that I didn't do anything like that until my senior year. I did it one time and I was done. And I remember just the confidence that it gave me to get up, and I was a minor role, but I had maybe a dozen lines, and just the confidence that it gave me to actually kind of get over that hump a little bit of, and of course, because I had never done it before, I auditioned for the lead because that's how.
Of course, you always go big.
It was just,
you always go big.
It was just, I don't know, it was either blind arrogance or complete stupidity, one of the two. But I did get a role, and I thought, well, I'm in. Right? Like that's all it really mattered. I guess I didn't really care to get the lead, but I think we give that opportunity to a lot of kids in high school when we have drama programs at our schools. You run one, you're a product of one. How important was that? And how important is it for you? Do you see kids doing that same thing in high school now? And did you see it when you were going through it?
Yeah, no, I definitely did. The first show I ever did was like my sophomore year of high school. And I remember it very vividly. It was Legally Blonde. I was JetBlue pilot, which you don't know because all he does is walk out, walk off. And I was also Sandeep Agrawal Padamadan, and he had a little solo, and I felt very special about it. But yeah, I was definitely very shy and insecure, and you probably even pick up on some of that now. But you just get over it.
You've gotten over it, Quincy. I think we.
But yeah, it just made me feel like I was part of something bigger, and you're just with a different crowd, and that's a different atmosphere. And it's so funny how 3 months can really make strangers that you didn't talk to in school become your best friends and your family. And then sometimes you just stick with it. And then the very next year was when we did Wizard of Oz. And I went from walking on stage to being the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
And then on to Nick Carraway. And then, and then some years after I was small roles again. And I was just choreographing but no, like you said, the way it just made me feel about myself and the confidence that just came out afterwards. I mean, it's something you really can't understand until you do it.
Yeah.
So you got to do it.
Well, I think it teaches you more about being part of a team than even sports does.
Yeah.
Because not everybody's on the field, right? In sports. There, as you mentioned before, there's bench people. Trust me, I was a bench guy. Okay. I ran cross country because there was no bench. Okay. So when you learn that aspect of a team and you see all of these pieces come together, whether it's a director or crew or the cast in these various hierarchies, you suddenly get an idea of like, wow, I'm a cog in this wheel, but I'm important. So,
yeah, I mean, theater is different, and I learned, and not in a bad way, like in a great way. I jumped in really late in life, and most of that had to do with just not being brave enough to do it. And then once I experienced it, I played on some really great baseball teams, and there's still nothing like that cast, the bond that you have with a cast of a show, because you go through things, like when you get to those hard rehearsals, going through that and getting out the other side of it, it's different relationships that you build than anything else I've experienced in my life. And so I think that's something special about theater that so many people miss out on, just because of just not having the courage to do it, being insecure and no confidence and things like that. But I think that getting involved, and I think that's going back to what you said about the schools having those programs, how important the arts are through our elementary years, junior high, high school. When we start cutting those programs, it's damaging to generations.
Which is not to say that if you've never done it before that you can just sit it out. Like if you're feeling it, give it a shot,
Just
right?
go for
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
Like really,
Yep.
as a high school director, the amount of young people that I will talk to or I'll approach and they'll be like, yeah, I want to, but I'm really nervous, or I'm not going to get anything. There's a place for every person on stage. I personally think there's a place for every person to perform on stage. I don't think that if you're shy, it doesn't mean that you can't be having a shining moment, even if it's just you're walking across the stage or you've got a couple of one-liners here or there. There's a place for everybody. And it's disheartening when you reach out to those young people and they're excited, and then you catch wind of something on the back end where someone has put doubt in their brain, and like, wow, they would be a fantastic X, Y, or Z. And when you catch that somebody, whether it's a friend or a parent or a teacher or somebody in their universe has told them, maybe that's not for you. You're only an athlete. You're only an arts kid. Like, you're only X, Y, or Z. It's so limiting. And these young people and our community members too, like, they hear it as well. Like Marty, you mentioned just kind of having the doubt and not sure if that's really, like, somewhere along the line, someone planted that seed and it just festers and lives. I had that seed. I had a teacher one time tell me I wasn't as good as another kid. And it really took me a while to kind of break through that and just be like, it's okay. Like, it's whatever. So that's I think the thing that's hard is that the kids inherently, like, want to, whether it's blind ignorance or whatever it is, they want to try it, but somewhere something has stopped them. And it's sad to watch that implosion of young people and adults, because I've seen it happen too, where community members will come out for maybe our shows or, other community shows around surrounding areas too, because lots of stuff is going on. And then they just don't show up or, something. And yeah, everyone has a place, and your place is important, and whatever you bring to the table is valid and important. So, if you're a listener out there, just take the step out of your comfort zone and go for it, because I promise it will be rewarding.
And Todd, for you, I mean, obviously the director is in charge of bringing all the pieces together. As you mentioned before, there was choreography that you didn't have much of a hand in, but now you've got to meld it in. And that kind of goes also with the skill levels of different people too. You can have veteran people, first time people, and you have to be a little bit forgiving with these folks at the beginning, and these folks maybe even a little bit too, but at the end you kind of have to be a master of kind of knowing emotion and knowing skill level and things like that, don't you?
Yeah, there's a lot of that goes on. You have to look at, like you say, the abilities, the experience, and figure out where everybody fits into that big scheme of things in the show. And we do that. We have, one of the biggest numbers that we have in the show, of course, is Step in Time, which is big in the movie, big and even bigger in our show. I think half the music book is Step in Time, it feels like. But it goes on a long time, but it's a great dance. It's got so much energy and everything. And almost everybody in that cast is on stage for that. Dancers and singing performers included. They're on stage for that, just minus a couple of people. And we have some first-time performers, and we have them doing certain things. And we have, like I say, our dancers who are doing their thing, amazing. And then we have our singing performers who are doing their thing, but we've got people of different skill levels, like you said, doing different things within that piece. So, you just have to kind of figure out what looks good and where to put those people. And that's pretty much the way the whole show works. Looking at how you can fill people in with what they can do. And we have a couple of our singing cast. It makes me feel good because we have a couple of our dancers, youngest ones, and there's a couple of parts in the show that have one line basically, and they both say the same thing at the same time. And they're supposed to be sisters, and you know who I'm talking about, don't you? And they are so happy to just have one line in a show because, they've danced all this time and everything. They've not had a speaking role or anything, and they're adorable. And I was talking with them before we left here to come here tonight, and they're just so excited to be doing it. But you give them that opportunity, so then, later on down the road, maybe when a show comes up, they might think about auditioning, coming in and doing something else with us. So, once they get that bug, which we all, I'm sure at one time or another got, maybe they'll come back and do something else.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited about this production because I think, number one, it's a great family event for us to go all together. You guys might regret that because my kids can be a little bit much, but we're going to have fun, I think. July 21st through the 23rd at 7:00, and then July 24th at 1. That's the Sunday matinee, right?
Sunday matinee, yeah.
And it's at Chillicothe High School Auditorium. I want to make sure everybody knows that. Don't show up at CCT because it'll just be a sign that says you're in the wrong place. And you can get tickets at
cctoh.booktix.com.
That's right.
BOOKTIX.
And how much are tickets?
Ooh,
We don't know.
I don't have that.
I think children's tickets are 15.
Yeah.
Plus there's a fee, I think.
Yeah.
And then
Just go on there.
the
It's not
others are
much.
17.50.
Yeah.
It's worth
And
it.
buy some for your friends, okay? They're going to. We all know this. So I'm excited for you guys. I think this is a great opportunity for each of you, whether you're a first-time director of a musical or, you're getting a role that you've always wanted to do or whatever. But I think it's a really exciting time. I'm also excited that we're doing Elf the Musical later this year, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. And I think Mousetrap is the October one, right? I think is that
correct.
October?
I'm directing Elf too.
Look at this guy. He's just doing them all now. You got to leave some for everybody else, right?
He's going to take like a year off after.
Yeah.
He said he was going to take a year off after this one, and then LOL.
Yeah, right.
Well, you
Yeah.
got to
But-
do what you got to do.
If folks out there don't know much about Chillicothe Civic Theater, this is a great group of folks that love theater, love performing in front of local audiences. They're local people. They need your support. They have done such a great job of with a new space, taking a building that was not doing anything and making it into something, and then producing quality theater for us on a regular basis. And that's the website is CCT Chillicothe, or is it
cctchillicothe.com
right.
or cctoh.org
very good?
is our new web address.
Yeah. So we all collectively in this room would love it if you came out every show at Mary Poppins, but we'll take at least one. And we'd be really happy if you did. And I think you'll be happy if you did. So I want to thank you guys for coming in tonight. I think it was a great conversation. I appreciate your efforts and your talents. I think you're tremendous for doing the things that you do. So
It's going to be a great show.
thanks again.
Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Feels Like Home podcast with Mike Throne and Marty Ford. Powered by Horizon. This is big. This is gig.
It feels a little strange, but I don't feel alone. We just settled in and it already